Hey, it's not working. What? What is not working? Not working. Isn't working. So go back to work. I'm just not feeling so no wonder. Maybe that is trying to me. But what? I don't know. Is there another job that I can cross examine people and yell I object a lot? Because I do really enjoy that. That's what I really enjoy the job I get paid, so probably factor that in too. Right. Okay, so tiny thoughts, just spitballing here. Maybe you're having a really hard time acting it in your life because it wasn't that bad. That's ooh, is that? I did really have a good sleep though. Why are you crying? Can we talk about it? I don't want to. I don't want to cry or anything. That's okay. I'm okay. Yeah, just like you were supposed to tell us. I'm really proud of you. Oh, don't be too proud. Because it's all on the verge of exploding in my face. Oh yeah, you like you were the other day. That's right. That's stuff I know. But if it makes you happy, oh God, yeah, that's all I want. You are a good man, Charlie Brown. Perfect. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to see my feelings again. Ah, yes. Believe me, love you. I wish I could stay on the planet by being an artist or famous painter. Truthfully, most of the stuff I think I see every day. If I had any attitude relied on venture into photography, but I got gifted. Pretty gifted. I'm surprised you call me happy, but surprised. Why? I said I would. Most people never do what they say. Except for my well, I am not true to my word. It's a lot more than that. Well, I mean, you know me very well. I guess tonight a new policy for pollution is trying to act. Now the U.S. tries to clean up its act, but will Canada follow suit? We have no national action plan to decide on this. One of them plans. Go ahead. Congress. What issue? All the right. The most pollution coming will be all here. Right. Employee benefit premiums rising, drowning in unexpected health and dental expenses. It isn't cool. Nearly 30,000 participating small businesses in Chambers Plan and provide single benefits for your small business. Service today at chambersplans.com. Over half the waste in Nova Scotia landfills should have been composted or recycled. Put your paper products in the recycling bin. Put waste in its place. So basically, you cook the chicken in a plastic bag and put it underwater. 2 pieces. Nothing's underwater. Actually, it's under vacuum. Why would it need under vacuum when I'm cooking it underwater? You make a great point. And an excellent point. But before I brought dessert too. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly eat anymore. I am stuck. You can't keep it on file. You're going to find you. Harry, any chance you still want to be my chef? I've never seen anyone take fire to her lap. It's still taste, baby. It's still taste. You know what? Come here. Okay, I want you to put these on. Come on. Yeah. I want you to smash this like that. We're doing a mosaic. What's the mosaic? You want me to break stuff? Sometimes you gotta break stuff. Go ahead. Did you see Country Mojo? What do you like that? Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? I was actually wondering how much longer you think these sessions will be necessary? Entirely up to you if you're not finding them out. No, I have. You've been wonderful, but I agree. But that right now, I'm feeling the break. I know what I'm up against. And if I'm going to push through to the next level, I think I need to do it alone. At least for a little while. As usual, I agree with your assessment, Dr. Dan. I'm always... There is one thing. I think you'd like to know that I decided to start up on my private practice again. Really? What changed your mind? I met someone. Hi, Anna. It's Dr. Tim. If you haven't already told the doctor, I have some time for a session tomorrow. Let me know if you'd like to talk. No, really. Pretty good to meet you, partner. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were coming. Well, technically, I'm just doing it for dinner, but if we're not having fun, then I can get everyone.
Hey, Donnie.
Well, I thought I'd start out part-time and just, I don't know, what do you think, Abby?
Hey, William. Hey, William.
Well, it's been another long week, guys. Look at your eyes. We don't have much to show for it. Pulled the trigger a little too soon on the Bronco. Ended up with 4 rusts. You know, once
You have your thing muted.
still, it's taken 3 times as long as we said. You know what that is?
There we go. How are we now?
There you are.
Yeah. There's not many people around here tonight.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right now, though, still got my beer
You been doing anything more with your layout?
No, I haven't gotten to go over there. I was hoping to go over there today, but I wasn't able to.
No, right on. I haven't done much with mine either.
Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to go over to my layout. If I do, I'll try to get on Hangouts later that night while I'm over.
Okay.
So, I mean, it all depends on if I get to go over there or not.
Oh, right on. No, I've been outside most of the day. Haven't done anything in my layout in a couple days now.
Mm.
So I thought I'd come on here tonight and hang out for a while and see who's around.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Donnie?
Pensacola, Florida.
Okay, Florida. I'm up Nova Scotia, Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot more north than I am.
Oh yeah, quite a bit more north.
It's quite a bit colder too.
At times, yes. But now through this past winter, we've had times when we were warmer than what you guys were.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Y'all got over 90 degrees?
Well, down Pensacola, not so much, but up near the Georgia line, they had it colder than what we had.
Oh.
You're
Well, I
down
mean,
right
it got, during January, we got below 18 degrees. So I think the lowest we got was about 8 degrees.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's cold.
That's Celsius, is it, or is that Fahrenheit? That'd be Celsius.
That's Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Yeah. No, I know when Georgia had all that ice and snow. It was beautiful weather up here, which is crazy.
So I'm guessing you probably model Canadian National?
Right now, I'm just doing a freelance of my own, so I do have a couple CNF units.
Okay.
And then I also have some Algoma Central, which is a railroad that was picked up by the Wisconsin Central, which was then in turn picked up by the CN.
Yeah.
So I have some Algoma Central and some Wisconsin Central engines.
Well, there's Canadian National. I have Canadian National main lines running within 50 miles of my house.
Okay.
Over in Mobile.
Yes.
Canadian National comes down into Mobile, and Mobile's only about maybe 20, 30 miles away from my house, where the Port of Mobile is.
Okay, yeah.
So I get to see some Canadian National locomotives, but mostly I see CSX.
Yeah. Now I've got to drive about an hour to actually go see any trains now. Although when I was between 10 and 15 years old, we had trains running through the town.
Yeah. I have We have trains that come just like straight through the Pensacola, but Pensacola only has two main lines, and one main line is owned by American Railroad Association, and it does nothing ever goes down it. And then the other main line is owned by CSX.
Okay. Now we had one that ran through the town of Bridgewater, but that was CN, and that ran from the city of Halifax all the way down the south coast of Nova Scotia, down to the town of Yarmouth, and then they had the ferry there that they would take train cars across the ferry over to Maine.
Oh, so they actually put the trains on the ferry?
Yeah.
Wow. So did the locomotives ever go on the ferry, or was it just the cars?
No, it was just the cars, and then the Grand Trunk would pick them up on the other side. Which
Okay.
Grand Trunk is owned, well, is basically CN. They just, for legal reasons, they were called the Grand Trunk.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're just GT. It's just locomotives painted GT now, but
Yeah.
mostly over in Mobile. My favorite locomotive is the SD40-2,
Okay.
and I like the Canadian rebuilds with the W cabs.
Okay.
I think they look pretty cool with the wide cabs, and I got to see one of those over in Mobile.
Okay. I don't know if my SD40s are SD40s-2 or not. I just wrote SD40 down when I was writing down what I had.
Yeah. The SD40-2 is just modified. It's just a modified SD40.
Okay.
What happened was when they put out the SD40s, they also put out modifications for them, and the companies will send their SD40s back to EMD, and EMD will modify them into SD40-2s.
Okay.
And the -2s, the nose is a little bit shorter because they had all the electronics inside the short hood were upgraded. And since all the electronics were upgraded, everything got a little bit smaller, and they shortened the hood. So it actually has longer porches than the other ones.
Okay.
And then Canadian National upgraded their own by themselves. Or yeah, Canadian National did their own upgrade and put the wide cab on themselves.
Okay. Now, I don't know if mine is a wide cabs or not.
I mean, it's pretty easy to tell. If you look at it, if it's got a regular Spartan cab where you can walk next to it has the walkway next to the hood, or is the walkway coming through the middle of the hood?
Okay. Oh.
I mean, it'll either have a really skinny hood with the walkway next to it, or it'll have a really big. The wide cab is a really wide hood, and the walkway is through the middle.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do have one of those that they walk through the middle of the cab.
Yeah, the wide cab kind of looks like it's kind of like an SD70 cab on a 40-2.
Okay.
60 cab. And I like to look at them. I thought it looked pretty interesting, and there was a contest of 4 of them in the Canadian National scheme down in Mobile. And then later on, I actually bought one, and I made sure I bought one of the numbers that I saw. I bought 5323 from Intermountain, because Intermountain makes the 40-2W models.
Okay. Yep.
So I bought number 5323, which was one of the locomotives that I saw that day. So I actually own 2 Canadian National locomotives.
Cool.
Even though I don't really model Canadian National, I own two locomotives.
So,
Just because I thought that was cool. And
we rent right now, but once we can get our own place, I'm hoping to do a layout of modern time as if the train still ran through our town.
oh, okay.
So I'm going to rewrite history.
Well, when when the trains are only an 87th of the real ones, I guess you can just do that.
Yeah, it's my own world.
I can't believe that an HO scale model is only an 87th, though. That means it takes 87 HO scale models to make the real thing.
Yeah, that's quite something. And they are. Imagine putting 87 of those models together.
I just can't imagine putting 87 of them together and getting the real thing. It probably costs about as much, too, though.
Yeah.
87 HO scale models would probably cost about as much as the real thing, too.
Yeah, probably, because the engines aren't cheap anymore.
Well, at $300 a piece,
Yep.
times 87, that's a lot.
Yes. That's too much.
$300 times 87 equals... That's $261,000. So, I mean, maybe a little less than the real one, but,
Yeah.
you know.
I think a real one would probably cost quite a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Although I haven't been shopping for large locomotives, so I don't know.
Where would you just buy one of those? I mean, there's not like a dealership where you can just walk up and say, I want that one.
Yeah. Well, you got to go to EMD or GE or whoever's making them and say, I want this.
So, I mean, I wonder, I guess they don't make the 40-2s anymore, so, I mean, I wonder what your options are. I mean, you can get an SD90, an SD80, an SD70 ACE, an SD70, and then I think those are the only ones that they're currently making. Or you could go down to GE and get... GE makes more different models. I think GE is still making the ES44 ACs.
Mm-hmm.
They make the AC the AC 6000s.
Are they still making the AC 4400s?
I think so. And they're still making... They probably still have a few -9s left, too.
Hmm. In my engines, I've got 3 SD40s and 2 SD45s.
Okay. I have a lot more than that. I have a lot of locomotives.
Well, I have 19 diesels total, but that's...
Okay. Yeah, that might... I think I have probably 13 or 14.
Then I have 7 steam engines as well.
Yeah. I have 1 steam engine and 13 or 14 diesels, so about 15 or 16 locomotives total. Because, I mean, I'd count all the ones I have, but then I have to think, I have like 4 or 5 of them that are in the repair shop at the moment.
Okay.
Because my hobby shop does repairs and modifications.
Okay.
One of them is getting ditch lights installed. I have a GP60M that's getting ditch lights installed. I have a -9 that's getting LEDs. I have a Proto 2000 SD45 that I couldn't figure out how to take the body off of it. So I gave them a decoder, and they're putting in a beacon and the decoder.
Okay.
And I I hope that's it. I'm pretty sure that's all in the shop.
Yeah, I have an F9A that I'm having a hard time getting the body off of. I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, TCS has pictures of installs of their decoders, and I mean, you know, I picked an decoder for it, so I mean, you just, you know, that part doesn't really matter what decoder you put in it, but there's still good installation videos no matter what decoder you put in it, because all the decoders are the same, just the manufacturers are different.
Yeah.
So I opened the locomotive up, or I didn't open the locomotive. I opened up the pictures, and the picture says, okay, take the coupler boxes out, and then take out these 2 screws. And I took out the coupler boxes, and I took out the 2 screws. I started pulling on the body, and it wasn't going nowhere.
Hmm.
I mean, it didn't say anything specific other than lift the shell off. So I started pulling on it, and I mean, if I would have pulled any harder, I would have just ripped it apart. I tried pushing in on the I tried pushing in under the dynamic brakes where normally the hooks are.
Yeah.
And that didn't do anything. So I mean, I couldn't get it off. So I put the screws back in it, put the coupler boxes back in it, and gave it to my hobby shop. So I mean, whenever they get around to it, I guess they'll get around to it. I mean, I don't really need it at the moment, so.
Yeah.
I mean, getting it back would be nice because I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But it's one of the XL&N, and then it's a CSX repaint.
Okay.
And I didn't repaint it. It came from Proto as an XL&N repaint locomotive. So I mean, it's just gray. It's dark gray with the dark blue on top. Kind of like the Burlington Northern, where Burlington Northern has green and black. It's really just it's a blue roof to the bottom of the dynamics, and under the dynamics, it has gray all the way to the walkway, and then the walkway and everything else under it is dark blue again.
Okay. I have a steam engine into local fellow who does work on the model trains. He's the only fellow around here that I know of that does it. I've got a USRA 282 in because it won't roll. It doesn't. I don't know if the pickups are dirty or what's wrong. It's not picking anything up. The lights aren't coming on. There's a sound decoder in it, and the sound isn't coming on.
What manufacturer is it?
Genesis.
Okay, so it's an Athearn model.
I guess it's in a Genesis box.
Okay, it's the blue. Is it the blue and yellow box or just a straight blue box?
I can't remember now. The box is in with the train to get fixed.
If it says Genesis, then that's Athearn. Athearn just has 2 types.
Okay.
The Genesis and the Ready to Roll. The Ready to Roll is the cheaper, and the Genesis is the more expensive.
Well, it's a Genesis.
Okay.
I'm thinking the pickups are probably just dirty, and that's why nothing will happen.
Yeah. I have a Broadway Limited locomotive.
Oh, yeah?
I set it on the tracks, turned the track power on, and nothing happened. It just didn't do anything. I gave it a few speed steps and it started moving, but that's all it would do is move. It won't the sound doesn't fire up. It doesn't give me any sound or any lights. It just turns on and moves, but no sound and no lights. So that's the one I was forgetting. It's also at my hobby shop.
Okay.
To get looked at. Which I walked in there, and I mean they let me go into the workroom, and I look up on their shelf, and they have 3 Mikados. They have 3 Mikados, the exact same locomotive. They're in different road names. So I just said, you know what? I'll just set it here. I filled out the paperwork for it, and just left it up to there. So now they got 5 of them sitting up there.
Holy.
They got 5 of the exact same locomotives. They're just different paint schemes.
Okay.
They have an L&N, They have an L&N one. The Baltimore and Ohio one is mine. They have a Frisco one, which I really kind of like. And then they have a I think the other one I think it's UP. It's either Union Pacific or Santa Fe.
Oh, right on. You're lucky that you have a hobby shop like that close by.
Yeah.
My local hobby shop doesn't deal much with trains.
Mm.
They do like the RC planes and cars and stuff.
Yeah. There's a few hobby shops around there like mine, but then there's Trains by Johnson, which is specifically model trains.
Okay.
They're kind of just the opposite of the RC planes and helicopters kind of place. They do trains, then they have a little bit of RC helicopters, trucks, and stuff like that.
Good. Well, if I want to go to a good hobby shop, I got to travel an hour to do it.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you ever happen to be here in Pensacola, they rock.
I probably have to win the lottery in order to make a trip to Pensacola.
Yeah. Well, I've been up to Canada one time before. I went all the way there and all the way back in an '02 Dodge Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
My dad still has that same exact truck, and it has 285,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Because it's been to Canada and back once, and it's been to Connecticut and back 3 times. And then it's been a number of other places many times. We've gone to North Carolina and Georgia more times than I count and stuff like that. So I mean it does a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, how far is Pensacola from Daytona?
Daytona Beach,
Yeah,
about 5 hours.
5 hours. It's quite a ways away. I'm not familiar with the Florida territory where each place is. That's why.
Yeah, actually, Florida, when you don't think about it, people kind of forget that from Tallahassee to the state line is in Central Time Zone.
Okay.
So people think that Florida's all in the Eastern Time Zone, but actually from Tallahassee is the first city that's in the central, or is the first city in Eastern. Anything west of Tallahassee is in Central Time.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then most people think, oh, you live in Florida, so you can go to Disney World every day. No, I still live 7 hours from Disney World.
Wow.
Because I mean, Pensacola's the top northwest corner. So if Florida's shaped like this, Pensacola's here and Orlando's still way down here. So I mean, I still got to go over and down. And Daytona, we're here, and Daytona's way over here.
Here, I'm going to look at a map here now.
So Daytona, I've been over to Daytona one time. For I'm in FFA also. I'm trying to get I do diesel mechanics because that's what I want to do when I'm older. I want to do advanced diesel mechanics. So working on 18-wheelers and trains and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm in FFA and working on doing diesel mechanics. So we went over to Daytona for a workshop. So that was like 2 days out of school.
Yeah.
Because we went over there and we did the workshop in that afternoon, and we did another workshop in the morning, and then came back around. We started coming back at 12 o'clock. We started coming back at 12 o'clock Eastern, and we actually got back in Pensacola at 2 o'clock Central. So it took about 3 hours, and that's going a good bit faster than what the speed limit says.
Okay.
But still, that's 3 hours because you lose an hour.
I see where Pensacola is now.
Yeah.
Wow, you've got quite a ways to travel over there to, like to go to Daytona or anywhere, especially
Yeah.
Orlando.
Yeah. I have people that ask me where I'm from, and they'll say, I'll say Pensacola. I'll say Pensacola, Florida, and they'll say, "No, man, that's in Alabama." And I just kind of turn around and look at them and I'm like, "No, we're 7 miles away from Alabama.
you border
They're
with Alabama.
Pascagoula. Pascagoula is 14 miles the other direction. So Pascagoula is 7 miles into Alabama, and Pensacola is 7 miles out of Alabama."
Okay.
Do you think he'll be on in an hour?
Well, probably not. It's 9:30 here now, so
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Oh,
I'll
wow.
probably be gone and getting ready for bed.
Do you know Dave?
Dave, which one?
Um, Man, I can't pronounce his name right here. See if you can read this.
Now I'm getting a glare off your phone.
Oh, okay. Vallejos.
Oh, I saw him on the other day. I was talking with him.
Yeah, he was telling me he'd be on in an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably be gone, getting ready for bed by that time.
Yeah.
This time difference, it does make quite a bit of difference.
What time zone are you in?
Atlantic.
Okay.
So
That
it's,
is about 2 hours. That's
yeah,
about
it's
yeah, that's
9:30
about
here
3 hours
now.
off of my time.
And so what is it there? 6:30 your time?
It's 7:30.
7:30. So there's 2 hours. So
Yeah.
that's one reason I won't be able to watch that YouTube Model Railroaders Wednesday night because it's too late at night.
Yeah. Well, he lives over in Colorado, so in an hour for him, it'll be 7:30 for him in an hour.
Okay.
And I guess he gets off of work at about 7 in his time,
Okay.
because he lives just west of Intermountain, or not just west, just south of Intermountain.
Okay.
He lives on the other side of Denver,
Oh,
so I have to follow the same rules. Like I could call Intermountain now, and I could probably get somebody on the phone, even calling them now.
yeah.
I could call up Athern and get somebody on the phone now, because it's over at Athern it's still 5:30 over where Athern is.
Yeah.
So I mean I normally when I have to call people I have to call them just out of school, and even then, like Broadway Limited, I have to call Broadway Limited just before I get in school
Okay.
because they're an hour ahead of me.
Yes.
But if I want to call anybody else, I have to call them after I get out, because after I get out, then they'll be opened. But I have to remember, if I ever need to call Digitrax or Broadway Limited, I have to call them before I get into school, because they're over. Both of them are over or Digitrax is in Panama City, and Broadway Limited is in um man, I can't remember where Broadway Limited is, but it's on the other side of Tallahassee.
Okay.
It's like Palm Beach or something like that. Oh, or Orlando Beach. That's where they are.
Okay. I gotta. One of these nights, I'm gonna have to. You have Digitrax, don't you?
Say that again.
You have Digitrax.
I have a Digitrax system, but I use TCS and NCE decoders.
Okay. Because
But I use a Digitrack system.
yeah. Now I just downloaded a program the other day. What is it here? Decoder Pro to.
Yeah, I have the JMRI system.
Yes. Now, what do I need in order, like, to do from the computer to the train? Is there a cable I need in order to do that, or?
You're on Digitracks?
I have a Digitrack.
Okay, let me pull it up. Digitracks has a PR3, which is a conversion box, and
Okay.
it does all kinds of stuff. It cost about $80, so I mean not near as much as the Zephyr does.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up. Here, watch this. I learned this about the other William taught me about this the other day.
Oh, Bill Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I click on this, I can show you what's on my screen.
Okay.
So right now you probably see yourself, but now I'm loading.
Now, how do you do that?
The PR3. The PR3 has a how I just did that.
Yeah.
On your little tools
Yep.
side, there's a little green arrow button that does it.
Okay.
Now on Digitracks, the PR3, what it does is it has a USB cable and it plugs into your computer through USB cables, and then it has LocoNet plugs on the back.
Okay.
And it plugs into your system through the LocoNet plug. And what it does is it has two program track wires, so you can hook up a program track, and then you can hook up to your Zephyr, and it'll work through the and it will work through. It'll work through the computer using the JMRI. Then you just have to set everything up through JMRI.
Okay.
And JMRI will know how to use it.
Because I've got the Decoder Pro and the Panel Pro.
Yeah, and then from that you can get JMRI on your cell phone if you have a smartphone.
Yes.
And then as long as your computer's on Wi-Fi and your cell phone's on Wi-Fi, you can run them through the phone.
Oh, that's cool.
But the PR3 will do. It will also do programming, or not programming. It'll also do. So here it is. Can you see it on my computer?
Yes.
I'm opening it up now. It costs like $83. Yeah, it's bringing it up. It's a little slow when I have Hangouts out.
Okay, yeah. Understand.
Here it is, $86. But what it does is you plug it into the wall, and then it comes with a wire. You plug that wire into your computer.
Okay.
And then I don't know if it comes with the LocoNet plug or not. You'd have to get it, or if not, you'd have to get it made. But I'm gonna, if it doesn't, I have a LocoNet plug that I use. I have an extension cord for my throttles.
Okay.
Digitrack sells an extension cord for throttles, and you can run it through that extension cord too.
Okay. Now I've planned to get a LocoNet cable anyway, so I can run underneath to another outlet, because rather than taking the controller the whole way around, only in a small room, but rather than taking it around everywhere, it would be easier.
Here, I'm going to give you the link also so you can check everything out. But I actually plan on getting one for my layout sometime in the near future.
Okay.
So if you want to wait and check out my review of it, because when I get it, I will also be doing a review and a little demonstration of how to work it after I figure everything out.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. So when I get it, I will try to do a review of it, and I'll have a little bit of an explanation of how to work it. But it says here, it says runs on Mac OS and with JMRI. JMRI is also going to be on like you already have it on your computer.
Yes.
So it runs with JMRI, and it tells you a few things about here. You need Windows XP, Vista, 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Those are the
I'm running
systems
them
you have to use.
so I won't have
And
a problem.
if you have any Digitrax decoders that have the little sound bug, you can get the sound bug for.
Yes.
Now, what you can use to program the
Online data? Online data sites can feel like flight endlessly, filling out profiles and searching for photos. I was tired of paying for money, so I told my friends to find a real connection. I was also tired of online dating. I'm busy. I don't have time to look through online profiles. Why take that in-person profile I was looking for, and they have
Oh, you froze up, Johnny.
a personal connection. Call us or visit us online today. There's nothing to say when life needs to be.
Did we go offline? Yeah. Hmm. Are you there, Donnie?
you still.
I'm here. I don't know if the lag is on your end or my end. Could be either.
Well,
Here, he's gone. For a 15-year-old, this fellow knows a lot about trains. He sent me a link for the thing I need to get the trains to run through the computer.
Yeah, tomorrow, I only need to hire so many people to get my last document on.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna expire now. If I don't get it finished, we need to report it right.
Yeah.
So I can't send out any more requests.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I don't care about anything else.
You didn't send any out already? Well, they should have it in the morning.
Yeah, but I send out other building requests.
No.
So I don't know which it went to.